Imagine you're at a restaurant. The waiter hands you your bill, and along with it, a mint. Suddenly, your tip goes up by 20%. Add another mint, your tip jumps another 15%. Welcome to the world of influence, where psychology runs the show and you're not even invited to the meeting. It's all around you. In the stores you walk by, the websites you browse, even in the way people get you to say yes in conversations. And they're used on you without you even noticing. Robert Cialdini is a psychologist, and he spent years to see how persuasion actually works in the real world. And after years of studying all this, he realized there are just a handful of techniques that people use over and over again to get us to say yes. This book, Influence, breaks all that down. So get ready, because by the end of this, you'll realize you've been influenced by these techniques your entire life. Alright, let's kick things off with the first psychological ninja move, reciprocity. When someone gives you something, even if it's tiny, you feel this little pressure inside to give something back. It's not guilt exactly, it's just this weird automatic urge to even the score. Remember that thing I mentioned earlier about the waiter and the mint? That wasn't just a polite gesture, that was a trap. A genius one. Studies show if a waiter gives you 1 mint with your check, you're likely to tip more. Give 2 mints, tips go up even more. And if the waiter leaves a mint, walks away, then turns around and says, "You've been awesome, here's an extra one." Even higher tip. That last part feels personal. And suddenly you're like, dang, I can't just leave the bare minimum now. This works so well because deep down, none of us want to feel like freeloaders. Back in the caveman days, if someone shared food with you and you never gave anything back, you get kicked out of the group. No group equals no survival. So now it's just built into us. Someone gives, we feel the itch to return the favor. Charities send you free gifts in the mail, like stickers or notepads, before asking for a donation. It's not generosity, it's strategy. Even free samples at the grocery store work the same way. You take a tiny cube of cheese, and suddenly you're walking out with a $9 wedge of cheddar you weren't even looking for. So yeah, reciprocity isn't about kindness. It's a social shortcut. A little push to say yes, just because someone gave you something first. The second technique of influence is commitment and consistency. And this one's super sneaky because it plays off your own identity. Once you commit to something, even something tiny, your brain wants to stay consistent with that choice. It's like your brain says, hey, we already said yes, so let's not be weird and go back on it. There's this classic experiment where researchers asked homeowners to put a tiny sticker in their window that said, "Drive safely." Harmless, right? Most people said yes. A few weeks later, the same homeowners got asked to put a giant, ugly sign that said the same thing. And you'd think they'd all say no. But the ones who had the sticker, way more likely to say yes, just because they already saw themselves as the kind of person who supports safe driving. We do this all the time. Ever sign up for a free trial and end up keeping the subscription for like 6 months? That's because you already took the first step, even if you're not using it anymore. Marketers love this stuff. They get you to agree to something small, joining an email list or entering a contest, and that tiny yes becomes a foot in the door. Suddenly, you're more open to the next thing, not because the offer is better, but because your brain wants to stay consistent. Alright, time for one of the most relatable influence weapons, social proof. This one hits hard because honestly, we all do it, even if we don't realize it. When we are unsure about what to do, we look at what other people are doing. Think about the last time you were picking a restaurant on Google Maps. You didn't even bother checking the ones with no reviews. You scrolled until you saw that 4.7-star spot with 2,000 ratings and photos of the food, and you're in. Did you know anyone who ate there personally? But all those little stars? That was enough. Even laugh tracks on old sitcoms use this. Why do you think shows like Friends or The Big Bang Theory added that canned laughter? It's literally to tell your brain, hey, this part's funny, laugh with the others. You hear laughter, and suddenly the joke hits harder. Without it, kinda awkward. There's this classic moment we've all seen in real life. You're at a party or event. Someone starts clapping. And everyone just joins in, even if they're not 100% sure what they're clapping for. Why? Because no one wants to be the odd one out. Marketers love this. That little "join over 10,000 happy customers" headline? That's not just a flex, it's strategic. Same with those product pages that show bestseller tags or only 3 left under a product. You might think it's random, but your brain takes it as a sign. Other people are buying, so it must be good. Next time you catch yourself checking the number of likes, reviews, or follows before making a decision, congrats. You just got hit with social proof, and you probably didn't even notice. Okay, let's talk about authority, because this one can seriously mess with your decisions without you even realizing it. Our brains are wired to trust people who look like they know what they're talking about. If someone shows up in a lab coat, or they've got doctor in front of their name, or they speak with that super confident tone, we're way more likely to believe them, even if we have no clue who they actually are. If two people say the exact same thing, but one's wearing a suit and the other's in a hoodie, we're instinctively going to trust the one in the suit. Not because the info's better, but because they look like they're in charge. You see this all the time in marketing too. Toothpaste ads love throwing in that 9 out of 10 dentists recommend line. Even if we don't know who those dentists are, or if they even exist, we still buy into it. Or even online. Think about how many people you've seen with fake guru vibes just because they've got a bunch of followers, or they speak with enough confidence. They could be making 0 cents, but if the background's clean, they've got the mic set up, and they say, studies show, enough times, we believe it. It doesn't even have to be real authority. Just the appearance of it is usually enough to convince people. So yeah, authority can be super helpful when it's legit, but it also makes us vulnerable. That's why it's so powerful. And once you start noticing it, you'll realize how often you're nodding along just because someone seems like they know what they're doing. Now we're getting into one of the most underestimated weapons of influence, liking. We're way more likely to say yes to people we like. That's it. Simple. But the reasons why we like someone, that's where it gets interesting and a little manipulative. Think about it. We trust people who are attractive, people who give us compliments, people who are similar to us. And the moment we feel that connection, we're more open, more cooperative, and more likely to go along with whatever they're suggesting. Ever noticed how influencers pitch stuff by casually saying, "Hey, this is just what I use, and I thought you might like it too"? It doesn't feel salesy. It feels like a friend sharing a tip. That's because we already like them. There's a reason why brands partner with celebrities or people you already follow. It's not because that person's a skincare expert or a tech genius. It's because you like them, and that likability rubs off on whatever they're selling. And it's not just about looks or fame. Even little things make a huge difference, like someone having the same hometown as you, or cheering for the same football team. That tiny similarity builds connection, and you're way more likely to say yes to them, even if you don't realize why. Okay, let's talk about scarcity, probably the most panic-inducing influence trick out there. This one hits you right in the FOMO. When something feels limited, whether it's time, quantity, access, your brain instantly puts more value on it. Suddenly, it's not just a product or opportunity, it's something you might lose, and that flips a switch in your brain that makes you want it now. Scarcity is like a little fire alarm in your brain. The moment you think something might disappear, your decision-making shortcuts kick in. You stop weighing pros and cons, you just react. Because in that moment, losing out feels worse than making the wrong choice. That's called loss aversion, and marketers love tapping into it. Think about flash sales, limited edition drops, airline seats showing only 1 seat left at this price. It's all engineered to make you act fast. Not because it's the best deal, but because you might miss it. And it's not just stuff we buy. In job offers, in event invites. The more exclusive or time-sensitive something seems, the more we crave it. So next time you feel that sudden urge to grab something just because it's running out, pause. Ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or am I just chasing it because I think I can't have it? If you like this video, drop a like and subscribe for more amazing videos. That's Reciprocity.